Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown, and this is the Hooked Better Leads podcast. And today I'm with, oh God, it's the last name. I got to start this over again.
Always.
Can you say your name?
No starting over, man. We're in it now, bro.
Dude, Hunter Ballew.
There we go.
Below?
Yeah, like Jungle Book,
Hunter
bro.
Ballew.
Hunter Ballew.
Ballew.
Ballew
That's what
yeah.
I've been saying. That's what I've been saying.
Ballew
All
the
right,
bear.
Hunter
Yeah.
Ballew. All right, I like it. And today we're talking about why to join a roofing mastermind, why to join a mastermind in general, and niched versus non-niched mastermind. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And really, what is a mastermind? Hunter, you decided to do this at some point. What made you get into this? I'm assuming you were part of some masterminds before you started one.
Yeah, it's super funny, man, because I hear people ask all the time, what is a mastermind? They don't know what a mastermind is. And for me, you know, I came up, graduated high school, went to the Marine Corps, went to the fire department after I did my training with the Marine Corps, spent 5 years full-time at the fire department. And while I was at the fire department, started to see these masterminds, quote unquote masterminds, these groups where you can come together with other high performers and business owners and try to grow to the next level in your business and life. And typically they're led by people who are where you want to be, and they've helped other people get where you want to be. And so I started joining them from a pretty young age. And honestly, I think it was really natural to me because I was a part of the Marine Corps. I was part of the fire department. So that community, that brotherhood just felt really natural to me and helped me to build relationships with people that would hold me accountable. And that's something we've continued to do as we started our own masterminds.
I love it. So real quick, we're going to go through a list of masterminds that exist. Okay. And I'll kick it off. You gave me 3 other ones, but we talked about Arete Syndicate, Apex, and War Room. And you said there's a couple other ones that you
Power Room.
Power Room.
Yeah.
$100,000 mastermind, or sorry, $100 million. $100 million.
Dan Fleischman.
Man, I got a small mindset here. I gotta get my shit up.
Dude, there's hundreds of them, bro. Hundreds of them. So for me, I mean, I started joining them again over 10 years ago now. And it's just an investment in myself that I wanted to make because I wanted to get around the right people. I could not even sit here for the next 6 hours and think of all the masterminds I've joined or courses I've paid for, or coaches I've paid for in the last decade. And at times people would say I was dumb for doing so many at once. And honestly, maybe I was for doing so many at once because, there's so many times where I couldn't make all the coaching calls. I couldn't go to all the events. I couldn't consume all the content, all the courses. For me, I always looked at it as you're paying for access to the person leading that club, the person that's leading that room, leading that mastermind. I'm just trying to get access to them because they know something I don't know. They have relationships I don't have. They have a Rolodex, and I'm just trying to get access to them. So great example is Power Room. I talked about Power Room. You pay for Power Room. I think it's $30,000 a year. It was $20,000 when I joined. So pay $20,000 for the year, and you get access to Andrew Cordell and Sean Finnegan and John Hewitt, and just the list goes on of all of these people's Rolodex. And it helps you get to your goals. You get the results that you want faster. It's an accelerator. It's a shortcut. That's exactly what a mastermind is. It's everyone says there's no shortcuts in life. A mastermind is a shortcut. That's exactly what it is. It's a shortcut. And there's other ones too. Dan Fleischman, friend of mine, runs Elevator Nights. He's one of the best human beings you'll ever meet. He does so many giveaways. He owns Everbowl, Card Champs, all kind of businesses, and his is called $100 Million Mastermind. If you check it out, there's War Room, there's Revolt, there's a ton of them.
So we'll talk about Revolt a little bit more too here, but I want to give it just this idea of a mastermind. So I love the book Think and Grow Rich. Read it 8 times. So I'm a big fan, and it talks about masterminds, and it could be as small as you getting together with 5 people, right? That you want to be right? 5 people that you want to be you could make your own little group or whatever. The hard part I've found is that it's hard to, the organization is actually work, right? And getting people bought in and giving them a reason to do it and making sure it's work to get that organized. A couple other, I think about other objections to this idea of a mastermind. If you're a roofer out there thinking about this, well, what if you already think you're a baller? Hey, there's a lot of these guys, right? There's a lot of these guys that feel like they're already winning. You got hey, sometimes it's at 3 million, sometimes it's at 7 million, whatever. I already am winning. How would you deal with somebody that's thinking about that? I know
that's great that you brought that up. I always use an example. I have a family member. I'm not going to be too specific. A family member I respect a lot. Growing up, he was always the one that I looked to that was an entrepreneur. He had his own business. He was successful. And, as I've grown up and now I'm 31 years old as of this podcast, I look at him and he's been very stagnant. He's been at about $2 million in revenue a year for the last 15, 20 years because he's the big fish in a small pond, right? Like he's the king of our family. Like he's the guy that's always been successful in his friend group. He's never went out and joined a mastermind where there's guys doing 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, $1 billion to make him think, dude, there's more. Something I say all the time, one of my quotes that I use all the time is never let your latest be your greatest. Continue to push. There's always another mountaintop. But so often we get to the top of this mountain and we think we've made it. We think we've arrived and we haven't. There's more to this life. If you still got air to breathe, you still got space to make up between where you are and where you could be. And so I always encourage people to push and put people around you that are in a better spot than you are. Like it blows my mind when I meet people that think they've got it all figured out. People say, oh, if you've been doing roofing 3 years, we broke 8 figures in, I guess it was 3 years. And so there was plenty of people that would say, oh, well, he's only been in business 3 years. I don't want to listen to him. I'm going to listen to the guy that's been in business 20 years. And no hate on anyone that's been in business 20 years. But if they're only doing 2 million, are you sure you want to learn from that guy? I mean, there's some new blood coming up that may be able to teach you. There's plenty of guys like Paul Reed and Eric O. and plenty of people that have been in the industry a long time and figured it out. Sam Struthers, Dustin Bleeger, Scott Riopel. I mean, the list goes on. Like, go find those people too. Seek them out. Ask for help. See what you can do to get around them. Many of those guys, I've done a tour in 2020 before I sold Cornerstone. I did a tour in June of 2020 where I just went around to all these different roofers. Eric O, Dustin Beegler of Apple Roofing, Heath Hicks at Avco, all the way. I went all the way out to Hawaii to see Ryan Groth. And I just did this big road trip, seeing people and just soaking it in. We were doing pretty good at that point, man, like really good, only be 3 years old, but I wanted to know more. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to get more efficient. I wanted to set my team up for success. So it's crazy to me that people want to be, a big fish in a small pond. I'm trying to surround myself with, and I know it's cliche, but like to be the dumbest person in the room. So you're always learning.
Yeah. So we're going to get into Revolt and what Revolt's doing. I'm going to keep on putting it out, but I'm excited about it. I want to talk about what specifically that mastermind is about. But before we get into that, I want to say, what if you feel like you're that guy? So we talked about the guy who's balling or thinks he's at the top already.
Yeah.
What about that person? And this is where I feel like I'm at a little bit. And I know it's a different industry, but we serve roofers. I just think about the person who feels like they're surrounded by a feast, but they can't eat it all. You know what I mean? There's just endless work and there's more to be had. And there's just a lot of stuff, good stuff happening, but you just feel like you can't process it all because there's just so many good things. Like that's how I feel at the moment. So like, what do you, I'm guessing you've been in that position before, just the kind of person that you are, that you've got a lot. It's hard to process all of this stuff coming in.
For sure. Super hard as a visionary, trying to take on too much at once. You're excited, you're trying to grow, you're trying to make an impact. But there's plenty of things that you can do to eliminate distractions and just create that checklist, prioritizing what's most important. I'm sure you've heard of AED, automate, eliminate, delegate, and just figuring out what you need to put your focus on. And really that is, again, another cliche thing. I'm sure we'll keep saying stuff like this, but
automate, eliminate, delegate though. That's a good reminder. Automate, eliminate, delegate. I love that.
So basically you'd create your checklist and you go through and you put AED between whatever. So if you can automate something, you automate it. If you can eliminate it from your list, you eliminate it. If you can delegate it to someone on your team, you delegate it. And then whatever's left is what you have to take care of. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, in that delegate, like I do see a lot of early roofers and a lot of the people that might be listening to this might be early. So the delegate part, you don't understand how important leadership is yet. Sometimes, like if you're that early guy, you thought it was just doing really good work. You thought it was just getting a lot of business. and you didn't realize that you're going to have to be persuasive, not just to one homeowner. You're gonna have to be persuasive to 5 sales guys and get them to move and get them good. And they need training, and they need you to be persuasive to them, because they don't have it all figured out yet. So
as leadership, like, you should never be in the field selling. You should be selling the vision to people to join your team.
Yeah.
Right. Like crafting that vision, your mission as a company, create your core values. A lot of the stuff we talk about at Revolt, it sounds super simple, and it sounds like you could just go in with a notepad and write it down, but like really getting down to the core of what do you stand for as a person, as a business owner, and then letting that flow into your business and building your business around that, because it is a direct correlation. What you stand for as a human being and what your business stands for are directly tied together. And I think that's so important that you set that foundation before you get started and you start trying to sell people on your vision, because you're going to have to get them on the team. And there's plenty of, if you don't have a team yet and you're stressed out by hearing, oh, I need to delegate stuff, there's plenty of other things you can do out there with outsourcing or Upwork or Fiverr or things like that too.
Exactly. I just want to note that, like, well, it's funny. The first year in business, I had to realize learning to sell was important, because I wasn't a salesperson. And then I had to, a couple of years into it, I had to realize, like, learning how to persuade my team and to cast a vision was really important. So I think some people are at that stage where they have to figure out how to cast that vision. And I think just knowing it's important. And like, how does like a Revolt help create better leaders? How is this helping people learn how to lead? So I know that Revolt is your guys' mastermind. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. You guys do free retreats and stuff like that. How does it kind of help prep people learning how to lead? That if this is important to you, if you're realizing that leading is important to you, how is Revolt kind of helping people gain traction in that area?
So I mean, I'll dive into it, but everything I say here, nothing is going to trump what you could go listen to other people say about it. If you go to our YouTube channel, we own roofing.com. If you don't know that yet, you go to the roofing.com YouTube channel and you just go to Revolt Retreats and you just listen to those recap videos. You just click on Momentum or All In or Relentless or any of the retreats that we've had and helped hundreds of business owners. You just listen to what they have to say about it. Most people come in with expectations of, I'm going to come in, I'm going to get some sales training, I'm going to get some marketing training, and they're going to pitch me all weekend on some product. And that's not what it is. Like, really, the retreats are our way of giving back. And we have hundreds of people that would tell you that have been through our retreats. You come in, and I'm not going to give you all the details because we do kind of try to keep it a little bit sacred. Like some of the stuff we talk about is based on self-worth and not talking about net worth. And a lot of times that scares people away. They're like, oh, I only want to come if we're talking about business the entire time. But dude, if you don't have your right, if you don't have yourself right, your marriage right, you're not going to be able to grow your company. And even if you do, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be fulfilled. So we talk about us as a person, as a leader first, and then we dive into business. And during the business day, man, it's awesome. We go through goal setting exercises that you can do with your leadership team, with your sales team. We jump into marketing. We jump into sales training. I go through automation. I go through building out a training platform for your team so you can set them up with what they need to be successful. We talk about recruiting funnels and setting your team up to be successful for recruiting. Like, because dude, if you've already got a team and you're trying to recruit and you or someone else is taking call after call after call after call, you're wasting time with recruiting. We used to get thousands of applications when I had Cornerstone Construction, man, thousands. And we would send them through a funnel. You're just trying to disqualify people. And so we go through that. We have like, we call it 5 ways to make 100K, different marketing techniques and things we have. And so we try to make sure that someone that comes out there, they sacrifice time away from their family, they sacrifice time away from their business, all the things they love and care about. We want them to leave and feel confident that they're going to make an extra $100,000 in the next 12 months minimum. And really, if they go home and they actually implement what we teach, they'll make way more than that. But 100,000 if they implement anything we teach.
How long is a mastermind go for? Like one of these weekends or whatever?
Yeah. So like our retreats are typically like, we'll start them on. So we have 2 coming up. We're in 2022 right now. This is early February.
You can say the dates if you want.
Okay. Yeah. So like March 3rd through the 6th. And then March 6th through the 8th. So typically it's like you come in on a Thursday evening, we eat supper, we do the first session. Then the next day, all day training, the next day, all day training, which is Friday and then Saturday. And then everyone leaves on Sunday morning. So, I think we'll have that one. And then the next one is basically starts on a Sunday. We do a session that night, all day Monday, all day Tuesday. Everyone leaves Wednesday morning. So it's like 2.25 days of actual training, 3 nights total. We cover the lodging, we cover the food, we cover the training, we cover the activities. Everything's taken care of. You just show up.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And then as it goes on, if you guys join one of these masterminds, could just give us a little bit of the basic overview of what people are like, what's the rhythm on the meetings for Revolt, and kind of what are some of the things that you talk about in the ongoing stuff that you guys do?
Yeah. So like we have the free retreats and we have a paid mastermind if people want to join that. And with the paid mastermind, dude, we actually used to charge, it was $30K up front, or if you needed to finance, it was $43K, which was $10K up front and then $3,000 a month for 11 months. And we actually reduced it a lot. We cut out some of the stuff that was high touch deliverables. One of the deliverables was that they got to come in and spend a day with me doing strategy. And we just realized like, dude, that's not super scalable. We sold like 65 people or something in the Revolt. We were like, dude, that's 65 days of my life a year through strategy sessions. It's not going to work. And we're wanting to go to 100 and cap the mastermind at 100. So we're like, yeah, let's cut that out. Let's cut some of the other stuff out. We just felt like we used to do 2 monthly calls, 2 calls a month, bi-weekly calls, training calls inside of our Facebook group just for Revolt members. And we didn't feel like those were as valuable. Like where we bring a ton of value is the systems and process we help you put in place through our training that we have. We have something called 8-Figure Blueprint, but then even more so, it is truly about the relationships and accountability, man. We have a couple of retreats a year that are not the free retreats, they're paid retreats. You could go check those out too on our YouTube channel. The last couple of ones we've done in Utah, we've got one coming up in Dominican Republic, one in Hawaii, and then that's members only. And so they come in, we bring high level speakers to train. We do a lot of fun stuff, riding UTVs through the snow, riding UTVs through the desert, the lake, doing jet skis and wakeboarding and all the fun stuff. But those experiences coming together for that is extremely, dude, it really is invaluable. Like you go look at those testimonials and you'll see guy after guy after guy after guy saying, hey, this weekend right here was worth the entire membership. So we actually dropped the price in half. It dropped to 18 grand up front or 3 months of 7K. So 21 grand for the entire year. And so now you're getting like a monthly call with training. So the guy that trained me on how to build companies and increase the valuation and exit that company, he's one of our coaches. He's put all his training in there. You get a ticket package to RoofCon. So like if you're going to come to RoofCon anyways, you're just getting tickets now, and that's coming off of what you're spending with RoofCon. So it's fun, man. We really enjoy it. Our accountability chat, we have an accountability chat that just goes off nonstop. Like as I'm sitting here, texts coming through from our accountability chat and people that are inside of Revolt talking to each other, asking questions, and getting feedback from people inside the group. We never wanted it to be about Hunter or Diego or Ammon or anyone on the team. We wanted it to be a collaboration of high integrity, high level, legacy focused leaders.
Awesome. Let's do a little contrast between, let's say, like course and mastermind. What would you see? Because I've done some courses and I've done some masterminds. I've also done some coaches. So can you do a little bit like a contrast of those three things? How about between courses and a mastermind first?
So I would just say between the three, like a course is content. You're going to get the content. It's evergreen. You're going to log in. It's up to you to go through it. You might get some accountability through emails, but like you either do it or you don't. Some courses have some support where you can ask questions on like weekly calls or monthly calls, whatever. But for the most part, it's content. Then you have coaches. Depending on the coach, you probably have accountability calls and it's more one-on-one, which is something I'm not a fan of. I get asked all the time, do you do one-on-one coaching? No, because my time is super valuable. Not to say like I don't care about the people. I would just leverage it in a group setting. And so that's where I feel like masterminds are so valuable, because it's community. So content, coach, community is where everything meets together, where you can get the coaches inside of the community to hold you accountable. You get other members inside of the community to hold you accountable. And then you also have the content inside of the community that you can go through and we can hold you accountable.
All right. Let's say somebody was going to pull a Hunter and be part of Revolt and 2 other things, coach, or besides, because you did that, right?
Yeah.
What are the other two
I've
that you
paid for
suggest?
so many, bro. I paid for one last year. It was 75K. I joined John Maxwell's John Maxwell has one that's not even really a mastermind. It's just you donate to his nonprofit. And then basically, you get to hang out with him and stuff. Like I'm going to his birthday next week, and I've been to Dominican Republic with him and some things. And it's $100,000 a year.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So $100,000 a year, 75 grand a year, 30 grand a year, 20 grand a year. I mean, all kind of different levels.
What other two would you say to do though, for like a roofer who's watching this? Like, I know the number one is Revolt, but give me the other two that if you had to suggest something based on what you've heard and seen.
Right. So one of my favorites that I'm a part of is Power Room. I do like Power Room a lot because it is very community based. It's very event based. I'm at a point in my life.
That one's not niche though, right?
Yeah, that was not niche, but I do think there's a lot of power in them not being niche. I kind of told you, like Revolt, we're starting to allow other people in outside the industry, because when you start to hear ideas from people in other industries, you're able to innovate inside your own industry. So there's a lot of power in that. But Power Room, I like a lot because it's event space. You're not sitting there looking at course material or doing coaching calls every week. It's like 4 to 6 events a year, and they're in Salt Lake City, Phoenix, all over the place. And you just fly out and you actually hang out with all the members, and they have good speakers come in. Like last time we had Tommy Lahren, we had Mike Tyson, Dan Fleischman. So they do a pretty good job. I like that one a lot.
One more.
So Max is Exit DNA, which again, it's like 15 grand, but if you're a Revolt member, you get it. So, I mean, it's literally almost the same. We charge 18 and his is 15, and you get it for being a Revolt member. But if you didn't want to do for Revolt for whatever reason, like Mac Lackey's a beast, man. He's had 6 successful exits. If you've ever heard of Mountain Khakis, the clothing brand, he's the guy that started that. The software Kick, he started that. He's got an NFT project right now that I just signed up on the pre-sale to invest in it. I mean, he's just a beast. And so his is really good if you're interested in learning how to increase the value of your company and eventually exit it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing those. All right, let's do just a little bit more about niched versus non-niched masterminds. Like, why niched and why non-niched?
Yeah, so I think niche, obviously, it's you could argue that it's more valuable because you're going to get more direct feedback on how to grow your company. You're going to get more solutions for the exact problems you have. So people could argue that that's more valuable, and that's the way we've done it for a while. But having done one that was not niche specific before and being a part of some that are not niche specific, we decided to open it up to non-roofers as well, not to devalue the group at all, because it doesn't. It just also allows you to get feedback from people outside your industry so you can innovate. And I think there's power in both of those things.
Yeah, I think about in the agency world, like different, like I think about Tommy Mello. Tommy Mello is one of the best, like home services. Like he does content in the home services space. And he's very smart, and he has really good guests in HVAC, and he's a garage door guy and stuff. But I just like, sometimes I go over there and listen to his stuff, and I'm like, the roofers aren't doing this stuff yet. You know what I mean? Like, so I just like bring it over here and like mix up the paint and get it onto this one. Cause there's just stuff that you don't hear in our industry, or like, there's different problems in other industries that like they have to solve for and fix stuff. And like, it's like a bigger problem in their industry, but they've got it steroids out the solution in that industry. And then you can take that, like his is, you're talking about the learning, teaching internally at a company. He's really into learning the LMS, learning management systems for your people. And a lot of the roofers don't know about that stuff. And I think an LMS consistently
that's part of what we
these roofing
teach
companies.
That's part of what we teach at our Revolt retreats, is setting up teachable and building it out. Because truly, like if you'll give your team the training, the tools, the technology to be successful, like you have so much more confidence in being able to sell that vision to new recruits, because you see people winning because of the work you've put in to provide them everything they need to win.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be your biggest recruiters, because they're going to be out there selling other people on it.
Yeah. Oh, totally. All right, man. I love this. Anything else you want to talk about? Roof. We'll open it up. Just roofing world right now. I'm about to go to Win the Storm for my first time. Have you been there? And what is your suggestion for me?
No, I think 2020, I went out there for like 2 hours because I'm part of the Catalyst group. And so I helped run a panel, but no, I've never really been a part of it. So I don't really have too much to say about it.
So you got these masterminds coming up in March. I'm just trying to think about if there's anything else. Can you say those dates one more time for people?
Yeah, March 3rd through the 6th, and then March 6th through the 9th. We have another one lined up in April. So we have them probably 6 to 8 times a year, the free retreats. So just keep up with us at roofing.com, or you can look at our Facebook page if you're not part of it, the group Roofing and Solar Community. I think it's the biggest in the industry. We have about 23,000 members in there. And then obviously RoofCon. RoofCon's coming up November of this year, November 6th through the 8th. We're about to announce our first speaker in the next like 2-3 days. And then we've got another one we're trying to lock down by the end of the month. Got some fire speakers this year. Super excited about that.
I got all kinds of questions for you. I don't even know if these have to be off air or not on air or something like that, but you got to tell me, did you, the Roofing and Solar Facebook group, did you guys purchase that or did you guys build that from the beginning?
No, I worked with the original guy that had it. I worked with him and took it over. When he got out of the roofing industry, he got into selling tires. And so I took over the Facebook page.
I feel like my other questions have to go offline, so I'll ask.
Okay.
No, I appreciate it. I'm just curious about roofing.com. Like when you got that, what else you're planning on doing? I'm just very curious about it because it's cool. And then SEO
we got
guy,
some
right?
super cool stuff coming, bro.
If you want to talk a little, I mean, if you just want to foreshadow.
I'll actually give you some deets, man. So we already built out an NFT project for roofing.com, where essentially roofing.com will become sort of a directory, and you'll be able to buy your county and be the exclusive roofer of that county. So let's just say you're in, Greenville County, South Carolina. That's where I'm at. And you want to be the exclusive roofer. You would go to our OpenSea collection. We call it our county collection. You would buy that NFT that represents the county. You would then prove that ownership to our team, and we would list you as the exclusive roofer of that county. At that point, you'll get access to decals to put on your truck that say official roofing partner of roofing.com. You'll get a badge for your website. And then based off of population, we're going to make it so you can vote. And when I say vote, you'll get to vote on speakers for RoofCon, you'll get to vote on location. And then depending on if you're, super high level, people with over 500,000 in population, they actually get our course for free. People with over 1 million population get a lifetime platinum ticket to RoofCon for free. So every level, depending on your population that you own, you would get different benefits.
I was just speculating on this yesterday to my wife about like, why isn't it a directory yet? Like I just feel, you know what I mean? Like roofing.com, there's SEO value to just being at that.com. So there's, you know what I'm saying? So that was curious to me. I was, anything else that you want to kind of like foreshadow just for, I mean, hey, we don't have that many people listen to this podcast. So you could give stuff. I mean, hey,
nah, man.
It'll be like 50, excited. Dude. I'm gonna guess 72.
72 views. Sweet,
bro. 72 views on the main video. That's my guess.
I'll share it out. Hopefully we'll get some more than that. At least we'll get a couple.
108.
Yeah. RepCard, you know about RepCard, part of that.
Yeah.
If you're not using that yet, man, we have some really, I'm not just saying this because I'm a part of it. We have some really cool stuff we've been working on with that. It's really transitioned from being this digital business card that people thought it was to now being a funnel builder so that you can go in as a sales rep. You don't have to be the owner. You don't have to be the marketing guy, but within 30 seconds, you can build a custom funnel to that homeowner for whatever your offer is. So if it's solar, if it's roofing,
can you put a form on
there? Is it what?
Can you put like a form on there, or how do you do contact stuff?
Yeah. So we have call to actions. We have videos. We have, any button you want. We have the reputation.
Dude, that's awesome.
Reviews. Yeah, man. So
some guy contacted me from Sunrun, and he, these guys out in California, dude, they're balling, dude. Like they're crazy. I mean, they're crazy. Like one single sales rep, and they're doing stupid money, and it's just like holy. And he was like trying to get us to do marketing, but we're really optimized for the company side, and we're not like optimized for this individual thing. But his website was so bad, and I feel like potentially just setting this up where you've got like you said, kind of like a funnel,
Dude, yeah, sweet, man.
Yeah.
And you can keep up with them because it gives you smart notifications. Anytime the homeowners takes an action and clicks on a button, you can see exactly what they're doing. So you can increase your sales while decreasing your stress. And we have a free version. We're at like 39,000 users right now with RepCard.
Mm-hmm.
You just go to repcard.com. You can download the free version, check it out. If you want the paid version, it's only $15 a month.
Can you talk about what is the actual physical, like, how does it work? Can you give a little bit of like for those of people who haven't tried RepCard yet?
Yeah, I wish I could actually show it. So basically, like if you're a sales rep and you were to go to RepCard, you go to the app, you could click send card right there. You put in the information, and then you build a funnel based off of whatever offer you're trying to build them. Again, I don't know if they'll be able to see it, but like it says text campaign right there. So I could have a text campaign for whatever my offers are. It could be siding, gutters, insurance. It could be commercial. It could be retail. But you build it out based off of that. Your call to action could be, request free roof inspection. It could be pay invoice. It could be schedule time on my calendar. It could be whatever you want it to be. You can create the call to action, and then you can add videos too to walk those homeowners through the process. So we're happy to do a demo with anyone who wants to see it. You just hit us up on repcard.com or hit me up in my inbox, and I'll get you set up with a demo.
So you're pretty committed to the roofing industry, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I just like people. I've
got roofing.com. So yeah,
for a long time. I mean, I've said like, hey, roofing is not something I'm super passionate about. It's just the people. Roofing is just the vehicle, right? Like I've said over and over, I want roofing.com. I want RoofCon to be community owned, community led. I've actually been having talks. This is like super deep right here, and I haven't told anybody this, but I've been having talks with SEC attorneys about creating an NFT project basically to represent ownership of roofing.com and the conference, because there's a lot of people that would love to be part owner of it. And then it's truly not the Hunter Ballew show anymore. It's everyone. We run into some hiccups with that. There's a lot of stuff you can't do with NFTs because then they're basically represent securities. We're working on that where it's not necessarily community owned, but it is community led, and you have the right to vote and help us make decisions so that we all benefit as a community.
I like what you're doing with the NFT stuff, dude. Owning an area and all that stuff on roofing.com. That'll be super cool. This is where I start to think NFTs have a future. Because I'll be honest, I bought one and it went to 0, and now I'm like negative on NFTs. But really, this kind of stuff makes me think there's a real deal there. I know that it's going to be real. It's just, I was trying to get in early and I kind of did dumb stuff.
Did you see, we already did one collection. We sold a platinum ticket to RoofCon one. We sold
yes, I saw that. I love that. Yeah. And same with
VIPs.
I think we have VCon and stuff like that. One of our sales guy, I think, kind of left because he got $50K for a VCon, a VFriends, and he's like, fuck it, this is enough to just bridge the gap, and we'll go do whatever else. So I think I was like, I know it's real. I know they sell for real money, and then it's cool when they represent real things. I can't understand it until it represents something real. And if it's representing being able to own an area of the map on the directory, that makes sense to me. And when it, that's, and VFriends, obviously, and tickets to stuff, I think that it makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Beyond that, I don't know yet. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. And appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having me on the show, man.